just the essence of the scene, one could say, is very high fidelity. There's not this many NPCs in actual GTA games. Today we're going to be testing MiniMax M3, and this has been a very heavily requested review for the channel. A lot of comments in all my recent other model videos were just talking about this, so a lot of folks are interested in seeing this model, myself included. Now, I have purposely not touched this yet, and I'm extremely excited to go ahead and do it because I like testing these things for the first time together with the viewer, I guess, in some way. So, first and foremost, MiniMax M3 has introduced seemingly some significant heft in terms of its capabilities and performance, as we can see just right here. It is frontier at coding and agentic work. It has a 1 million context window, and it is natively multimodal. It is also being touted as the first open weight model with these 3 frontier capabilities. Now, a lot of folks are going to be immediately curious, okay, well, talk to us about open weight. What is the current status of this? And we will touch upon that as we are going through some of the introductory announcement things here. Apparently, the TLDR of that is that the research paper as well as the weights will be coming in around 10 days. Being that this was released a few days ago, that would just equate to like maybe 7 or so days from the time of this, or maybe less. So before we get into it, a few things. One, please do feel free to subscribe, as I do want to get that 6-figure plaque, and I enjoy making these videos. 2, MiniMax was kind enough to sponsor the channel, so thank you to MiniMax for going ahead and sponsoring this video. Don't worry though, this is a fully organic model test. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just using the API through the coding plan, which you can take a look at here, at the MiniMax token plan, which does seem to be a good value considering that these token figures are basically what you see on OpenRouter when you see billions of tokens used per day. And in the Ultra plan, you can get up to 12.5 billion of those per month with M3 usage, so that does specifically say the highest tier model and highest performance, or the Max plan or the Plus plan. So please do feel free to check out the MiniMax token plan, as that is partially how we're going to be running some of the testing in today's video as well. Now, the third thing I wanted to say is the reason I'm so zoomed in right here on this page as we start to look through this is because I just want to have a full view of this benchmark JPEG right here, which we start out by seeing that this is really performing very competitively, and every other model that is listed in this chart is a closed source state-of-the-art model. Now, admittedly, Gemini 3.1 Pro is a bit outdated at this point and will soon be replaced. However, GPT-5.5, which this does seem to be trading blows with and going toe-to-toe in SWE bench, is pretty recent, so I'm very excited to see some of the coding capabilities, in specific for some 3JS games, which you know are a big favorite of mine. And additionally to that, in BrowseComp, which is just essentially searching the web to find hard to find information, it seems to even edge out Opus 4.7, so that's cool to see. And all of these as well just are essentially like in the same sphere as these closed source high-end models, so that's exciting. In terms of the other tabs that are right here, they do talk quickly about the architecture. Now, the tech report is supposed to be released alongside the weights, which have not currently been out yet, so there's not a lot to say about this architecture except for this chart right here, which I have varying levels of success in interpreting from like an education level. So essentially what this is it has a very long context window, and because of this architecture, it can handle that long context without a large ballooning of VRAM needed for the KV cache or something of that sort unscientifically. More to follow when the research report actually does drop. They also do mention its ability to handle tasks that, like, basically a lot of agents now have been trending towards using things in goals, or something that you type it, you task it with a specific task that will take a long time, then you leave the computer and it just runs for many hours on its own, and that's specifically what this long horizon stability is referring to. Now, I want to specifically touch upon a few of the examples that were included in this release post, because a lot of them just talk about the model essentially performing well in tasks that would be related to a model training either a smaller model or trying to improve itself. So this essentially shows model performance in actually taking a small little model and then handling the entire post-training pipeline of like training that model. So basically this will take a base model and it will have to come up with everything to turn that into a instruction tuned model or something of the sort, where basically These are things I've done personally, actually, on the system behind me that I built. There's a video of it on the channel with the 6000 Pro card. But this is really cool because it shows these models actually being able to handle the entire process. And I can speak from like personal experience. There's a lot of work that goes into doing this, specifically with the data synthesis, because you have to go and find millions and millions, hundreds of millions, even sometimes billions, probably not trillions for this specific benchmark, but of tokens, which can just be attributed also to that BrowseCom score, where basically you need to search the web for a ton of data. You need to find good data. It needs to be cleaned and prepared. And these are large amounts of data. And the reason that I am probably spending too much time on this one specific showcase right here is because this truly does excite me. And the conclusion of this announcement post just gives us some pertinent information here about the token plan if you do want to use that. It gives us a link to find ways to integrate MiniMax API just through the API with a bunch of different platforms and coding agents, as well as the specific MiniMax code option if you just want to use what they natively have. And then finally, the thing a lot of folks are going to be interested in seeing is number 4 right here, where they are fully committed to giving back to the community. It will soon be fully open sourced on Hugging Face and GitHub, supporting private cluster deployment and fine-tuning. I don't personally know how big this model is. I have seen some guesses thrown around, but I'd like to maintain caution in just guessing until the official figure has been posted. So next up, I'm doing something a bit differently where it's still in open code, but I'm starting it from within build mode, not within plan mode. This is tasking it with creating the beautifully detailed static subway scene, and then following the creation of this, we will have it go ahead and turn this into some map for like some form of fun FPS or beat 'em up game or something of the sort. All right, it started a test server just to check the file. So I've not looked at this or seen anything yet. I'm just going to click on this test server. Oh my, look at all this. It's possible that it may like close this out on us because it's just running it as like a smoke test, but wow. Okay, this is very, very good. Just the essence of the scene, one could say, is very high fidelity. No, this is really like... This went all in with Subway. Just this scene right here, it looks good. The materials are well done. There are people. Oh, and that bodes well for the additional test. Good. The brightness slider does work, but to be honest with you, it looked better at like 77% brightness. This is very good. Okay, we have our subway car. We have these people. Is there a right click? No, I'm kidding. All right. I mean, this is... Wow. Does the subway car actually have like a separation? Yes, but it still has the thing to join them. And this is really good. This is a big station too. A lot of people. Shift is to sprint. Space is to jump. Wow. Sale 50% off this week only. Visit store. If you see something, say something. That's not funny. What's funny is that it put it in this subway station. This is really good. Look at the front of the train. Far rock away. Yeah, that's what it says. Okay, look at the front of the subway car. Just the floating particles, the signs, the very subway-esque things. We have labeled columns and stuff. This is very, very, very good. So let's turn it into an FPS. Actually, because of these humanoids. Oh, we're still trying to like do things. Yeah, no, you're done. The time is now for me to instruct it. I'm just giving it this follow-up here and telling it to make it fun and add polish in all caps. I'm very, very eager to see what we get because this is good. So I think it's done because it's just trying to verify the file. So I'm going to open this, but keep in mind, this may not be fully completed, though I think for the purpose of what we're planning to do, it's probably completed enough. Sorry, let me close that. That's the old server. Click to arm, okay? Yep. Oh, my speaker battery's low. I will need to charge it, but we should be able to hear something for now. Yep, listen to the footsteps. Hold on. Whoops. Wow. Was the train car moving? No, it was me moving. I apologize for that. Let me turn the brightness up because it's difficult to... Okay. It made it like much more eerie. Oh, I have to reload. I have to press R. Can the... Do the bullet holes go in the environment? Oh, they do. Look at that. This is just like... Oh, look at it. All right, I'm not saying much because I'm immersed in this gameplay. I also feel like it added in that track map. That's good. Oh, and we have to reload. There's actually a timer to reload. This is just, like, aggressive. Can we shoot the subway car itself? Yeah, I think we can, but it's hard to... Oh, yeah. Yep. Sorry, I got a little excited. I need to charge this speaker, but that was Subway Last Stop. So for this next test, I'm just straight up starting it in build mode again because I did that with the Subway game and that was completely very good. So this test is placed in a specific repository or folder. It has a bunch of photos of this retro laptop device that I built. And basically the task here is, if we scroll back up all the way, make a self-contained advanced Three.js rendering of the device pictured in this folder. I want the screen to show a terminal for the keys to be functional and work with the screen. So basically I want a Three.js render of this specific laptop where I can type on the keys by clicking them and the text I type will actually show up in the screen. This is going to be a heavy test of its vision capability and its ability to transpose what it sees into actual space in terms of like world space on a computer. So there's a bunch of photos of this device at different angles, both open and closed, and we'll see how well it does at capturing this. It's also just going to be a test of some of its 3D chops, which based on the Subway result, it does seem to have quite a bit of. All right, it's been at this for a while. It keeps trying to like make improvements, but I just want to see what it made. So I haven't looked at this yet. You know what? It's not one-to-one, but I do have to say, okay, folks from the comments have educated me. I do believe this is called Z fighting, where that happens. Now, the emissive properties of these keys may be a bit too bright, but something I'm going to notice right now, first and foremost, is I love the screen effect. It actually has like a... This laptop does not have a mouse. Please know how to use the CLI of purchasing this. Where did it get that from? Because that's from... Okay, so I made a few of these. This is a real thing. I made it. There's one on the shelf over there. I had to put that in the listing on Etsy where I sold a few pre-built ones, actually just like one, because I find sometimes folks on Etsy don't necessarily read the instructions. Now, okay, it really went all out with emulating the 3D printing effect of this, which I'm almost insulted with. Good God, look at this. It's like, the back is correct. The hinge is it off center there? No, in the photos it is. I don't know what these things are, so I'm... Wait, can we? No, okay. I don't know what those are, so I'm just going to ignore them, but we should then... Oh, yes. It inverted the keyboard kind of, but like Q. Do enter. Oh, you absolute mad lad of a model. Okay, so we do still have some issues. This is a good time for the multimodal test to be tested additionally, just in terms of like vibe coding based off of feedback from a screenshot. All right, so it did look at the image that we gave it. I see the issues. Keys are syncing into the deck plate, Z fighting, so I did learn something from the comments, so thank you to folks who had mentioned that. Normal map layer lines are too strong. Keyboard rows are reversed. Okay, we'll see what it does. Still though, I like this test because it gets to showcase my own like genius design creativity too, being that it's based off of a physical thing I've built. All right, let's see what changes were made based off of our photo that we gave this. Okay, it fixed the keyboard, it moved it up. The Z fighting also did stop. So it did resolve the main issues that we had mentioned. The emissive properties of the keys are probably just something that is something to do with this material, but still, I just, I love this. Next up, I have put it in plan mode. We are, of course, using OpenCode still. This is a test that I have very seldom run. It is to create a quarterback simulator game. Basically, you can play as either the quarterback or the receiver. If you are the quarterback, you have the ability to throw the ball to the receiver, and vice versa. If you're the receiver, you need to catch the ball from the quarterback. It needs to be 3D, and this is an interesting test. All right, so it's asking some follow-up questions for camera style. Multiplayer mode? No, absolutely not. Route variety? Let's just do simple. Audio, synthesize sound effects. Okay, because you insist. All right, it's still checking things over, but I am eager to see the game. That's actually a very, very good field result. I've run this only a few times with, back then, state-of-the-art Frontier models from probably like 3 or 4 months ago, and this is absolutely similar to their results. Okay, how do we... So if I were to read the screen, press space to snap the ball. Click and hold to charge, release to throw. That's excellent. This is a really, really very solid result. Seriously, I'm happy with this. So aside from, I'm unhappy with two things. One, football fields are generally green. And two, these are always kind of difficult to play. Okay, so we have to press space to snap the ball. And then we can move around. Oh, look at that. Oh, we can run only till like the line of scrimmage, I think. Complete 10 points, 21 yards. This is well done. Oh, why'd you run back, you idiot? Okay, good. He just like, he got it. All right, here's what I want to do. Good. So pressing escape actually does like give you more thing. Receiver, start game. Get ready. Run your route. Wait for the pass. Space to catch. Oh, okay. Well, it's hard to... The movement here is good. This is like a nice little arena foundational like map. Basically what I'm trying to say is this could definitely be turned into something fun. Okay, I do see the ball on the ground right there, and it's rolling, and it does actually have the laces, and it's the right color and things. We can just freely roam around the stadium now. This is kind of cool. I like this. Yep, there's the ball. All right. The movement of these little football players is good. That's cool. Next up, we're going to do the 3D printer simulation test. This is more of a classic test at this point. So because of that, I have just started it from within build mode and open code. So it just directly gets to work. Prusa style printer. Okay, I like that. And it's just fun to see the result of this always. All right, so we have our 3D printer result. And I have also in the meantime run some parallel tests as well because I am worried about this video length a bit. So I do want to have a few other things to showcase, but perhaps not with as much verbosity prior to seeing the result. With that said, let's take a peek at our 3D printer sim. It's so good that I wonder. No, it does have like the Prusa colors to it. Look at the little spinning fan there, or whatever that is. Now, something that's odd is it has like a weird ghosting to it, or not ghosting, but whatever that is. It's because of the material. So this is an enclosed printer, which is good to see. We do have a spool on top. I should learn my lesson by now and actually test the results before I start saying good things about them. Okay. What the? Okay. So this is the biggest layer height. This is like, instead of 0.2 layer height, this is like 2 foot layer height, but it is going layer by layer. This is a very, very obscure result, I would say. I did notice, it seems like the spool changed. So I'm almost concerned. What happens if we double the layer height? Is it... Okay, the spool is moving up there. I tried making the layer height twice as big, which did make the layers twice as big, but, you know, it also made it look funny. Okay, the circle looks good, and the nozzle is moving up. This is something where, ooh, look at that spiral. See, that's really pretty. It's not necessarily what one would expect from this test, but it is good looking, and the actual printer model itself is not bad. Let's do a reset, and then let's just try the triangle. Get it? Okay, that is a triangle. I did put the layer height all the way up there. Let's reset. This is with the smallest possible layer height. And the spool is spinning, just not necessarily in the correct directional spin, but it is showing. This looks good. This I like. So, all right, this is a very good looking model. Some of the printing had a bit of oddity to it, but aside from that, the actual enclosed printer, the materials and everything like that, the model was done well. So as a front-end / multimodal coding test, I've given it a photo of this portfolio image and told it that it needs to turn this into a high-end portfolio for someone who wants to get hired at a machine learning or AI company. It should also feature realistic AI or machine learning examples on the page. And we have our result for the Vibe portfolio. Oh my. Okay, so I don't know what happened there, but like the first second it was like, that's my best, like... replication of that. Okay, good. We have a nice little SVG, animated SVG of some form of emoji robot or something of the sort. I'm not specifically sure what the terminology I was looking for there was. Alex Chen, I've seen that fake name used before. We have alex.ml, open to ML and engineering research roles, view projects, get in touch, daily inferences, 12 million, 50 plus models in prod, 99.95 uptime service level agreement, and 3 publications. All right, let's see what we got. Skills that ship models. Focus stack honed over 6 years. Okay, these do have nice hover effects, and everything here is related to the field of AI or ML. Engineer Research Builder. Okay, I see like small particle effects in the background floating around. I train models that don't just work in notebooks. Ooh, for the last 6 years, I've been shipping ML systems at companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and YC-backed AI startup acquired in 2024. My work spans pre-training 70 BPM LLMs, building low-latency inference stacks, and shipping vision models that run on edge devices. I care deeply about the unglamorous parts of ML. What are those? Data quality, evaluation rigor, reproducibility, and the operational excellence required to serve models you can actually bet a business on. Outside of work, I contribute to open source. This guy sounds like a tool. And mentor engineers transitioning into ML, based in San Fran. Okay, so here we have some more like realistic examples. I like this. It actually crafted the SVGs for these by itself. So, okay, LLM and RAG plus 30% accuracy or 38% CV detection. Okay, so it's showing bounding boxes and what would be showing for like autonomous driving very likely or something of this sort. Hey, not bad. This is a good looking little tiny little neural net thing here that it made all of these itself. This is actually cool that it did this. This one is probably so far the most impressive custom made asset in the ones we've seen so far. And these are all just like surface level related to AI ML. This looks good as well. It's actually, so there's like hover effects, not hover effects, but they're glowing in and out. Okay. Portfolio optimization trading, very good. His agent significantly was outperforming this, in which case I would say probably just focus on that and not necessarily be looking for work. But oh, look at this. This is a good looking UI. Okay, we have a chart here for some training loss as well as coding curves. Oh, this guy just sounds insufferable. It's a well done front end portfolio site here, but this guy, I publish when I have something genuinely useful to share. Papers and writings. Okay, good. These are, oh, and that just, if we click it, it sends us back to the top. This is a very, very, like there's a lot of different sections to this. There's 7. We're at 7th section right here. All right, and then we have a nice contact card and things of the sort. Tell me about what you're building. I read every message. That's a good looking front end. Now that I look at this again, it has some small elements of like AI, like basically the A right there. And then some of the fonts used and things are kind of attributed to that as well. But I'm going to say this is pretty clean. Like this right here is kind of like AI looking at this point. Folks who are familiar with AI results see like text like this, but it's got enough like differentiation to it. I like this. And then we have this right here, which is, I don't know that you'd be taken super seriously having this on your high-end machine learning homepage, but what do I know? So the final thing I did is more of a hardcore test because I just ran it through OpenRouter. However, it is MiniMax who is serving the model here, so we don't have to worry about any misconfigurations causing like significantly lower benchmark scores, like what apparently happened with that deep SWE bench. Don't quote me on that, but it's something to keep in mind. So we have a drum kit sim result to close things out. Let's see what we get. Okay, the prompt does say it can make it 2D photorealistic, which it did. I'm okay with that. Let's just check. Good, very good. I'm going to turn my speaker up. All right, we can do the Phil Collins test. All right, let's check our autoplay feature starting with rock. Okay, yep, all right. Once it hit that bass drum twice, I heard the rockness of this. We do also have adjustable BPM. Good. Now let's try funk. Proper funky. Now let's try Latin. All right, yeah. Now let's try jazz. Yep, yep. Can I play along with this thing? Yep. And it even shows us, like, right here with the orange. Oh. It shows us, like, what bar it's on or whatever, if that makes sense to you. If not, I don't know how to put that into words, but I understand what this is showing us here. Not bad. And it is allowed to do 2D photorealistic from the specific prompt that I sent it, so this is fully acceptable. Everything's actually arranged more or less properly, and I did like the sound animations that it placed. All right. This is, of course, the Browser OS Test v2, where it needs to include the web browser-based things, but in specific, it needs the 3D GTA clone, and then another 3D game that is entirely up to the model. Mavis isn't it? Oh, no. Okay. The special feature looks... What I was saying was, this worked very agentically, so it basically took screenshots of every part of this. I haven't seen any of it. I was worried it would like show some of them, which would have been a spoiler, but fortunately we didn't. Okay, Mavis OS, a sentient desktop. All right, first and foremost, we have some more simplified icons and things like that. However, my attention is going straight to this special feature right here because it is an AI assistant or some living sentient being you communicate with, as I read in the summary. First and foremost, let's just check our start button. Okay, good. We do have a search function. Terminal, good. Now the big one. Okay, there is a right click. Good. And we also have the summon Mavis. I'm going to call it Mavis. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but that's all right. Let's take a look at our GTA clone. Vice City 3D. Top-down 3D. Oh. Okay, that's really good, actually. How do I... All right. Let me try this again. If it spawns us into a random spot. Yes, good. Oh, no. Okay. Busted. You were caught by police. That's BS. All right. So the space is to... Okay, so honk does scare the pedestrians because when I press it right here, 3, 2, 1, they run away. That's actually... This is... Oh, yeah. Get smoked. This is good. I'm going to say this is good. The pedestrian density is something that even like... there's not this many NPCs in actual GTA games. So it's good to see them in the desktop browser OS game. Busted. Okay, and when you were caught, it just like restarts and you get caught if you get like the police drive into you. I've probably spent too much time on this, but it is interesting. So like, oh, yep. Then our wanted level goes up. And we can also press space to scare them, which is good. That's like a saving feature, so you don't hit them if you're driving up fast. Oh, never mind. All right, status free. Okay, so far, I like this. I should have full screened it. That's a L on my part. I want to apologize for that. I'm going to scare one more pedestrian, and then we'll move on. Okay, good. All right, I like it. Can I minimize it and reopen it? Good. All right, can I close? Yes. Next up, Maze Runner. Click is to shoot, and you have infinite ammo. All right. Distance to exit. Oh, so I have to find my way through this maze. I hate maze games. Okay, sadly, I can't move through this maze, but that's okay because I'm not really like a huge maze person. Except there was one game called Super Maze Wars, I think, for old Mac OS systems, and that was a lot of fun in multiplayer. It had to be like multiplayer on a LAN, but all right. That's okay for now. We'll just maybe come back to that one. Terminal. Okay, type help for a list of commands. We have a lot of commands right here. Tree, show directory tree we can remove. Create empty file. Who am I? Let's do the ones that are generally fun, like neofetch. Good, and it's a cat. I like that. It's a cat with a word around its neck, and that's the pendant, so maybe a necklace. And then let's see if clear works. Good. And then Matrix was there. The cat was still simmering in my mind. What was the other one? Who am I? User, help, uname. Okay. Good. Next up, we have Notepad. Simple text editor, your content is autosave. Try writing something or using it for notes while you play games. Interesting feature, but simple. Oh, I double-clicked. Someone mentioned that in the comments, that I double-click like an old person on the apps, so thank you for that. Can we go into the folders? Okay, it actually just shows a pop-up in the bottom right saying like this isn't a real folder. Oh, cool. We can open the games from the file browser as well. Next up, the calculator. 95 times 6, 570. Good. Divided by 96. Next up, we have settings. All right, we have a bunch of wallpapers. Oh, I thought this was like a broken image. It's not. It's just weird stripes. Now that I look at it, it's not so bad. We have a disgusting orange tone, some nice purplish, things like that. We do just have like a flat black. Mavis mood reactivity, display UI, reduced transparency. These are like options that exist in the Mac OS system options as well. They're like accessibility features and things like that. We have about persistent AI entity that lives in the OS itself. A sentient feeling companion with a mood that shifts based on the time of day, your activity, and conversation. She can launch apps, crack jokes, give you tips, and remembers what you've been doing this session. Click the glowing orb in the taskbar or press Control Space to summon her. I'll try Control Space. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. It's genuinely made a chatbot in this AI, in this browser OS. Late night, huh? Same. The internet never sleeps, and neither do I. What the heck is powering this? Is this just like a bunch of canned responses in the script? I need to actually look at the code real quick because I'm curious. Okay, well, this browser OS is 2,500 lines of code, so let's talk to it. Let's just try OpenGTA. Sick. And it responded too with a little chat bubble, and then I'm going to have to put my head somewhere else, which is going to be difficult, but that's okay. What's up? I'm not sure I caught that. Try asking me. Okay, so it has a list of specific things you need to tell it. Tell me a joke. A SQL query walks into a bar, sees two tables, and asks, "Can I join you?" Okay, that's... Wow. How many jokes do we think it has? Tell me a joke. Okay, it's the same joke. Hey, Night Owl, I'm in full philosophical mode. Ask me anything. Hi, with a question mark. Okay. What's up? My circuit's buzzed at that. Maybe try to help to see what I can do. Oh, okay. Good. So we have a bunch of things. Change the wallpaper. What time is it? Give me a tip. Try the calculator. You can use your keyboard too, or I can use my brain. An interesting special feature because it's very infrequently, if ever, that we see like an AI sleepy in the morning, energetic at noon, philosophical at night. And it is. It's just around 1 a.m. It did mention that it was philosophical. Typing indicator, smooth animations, has moods. Very, very interesting. Live clock, 12 wallpapers, animated boot sequence. Okay, overall, this was a very competent and well done result. The special feature was special. Some of the icons and stuff were not as like modern as I would have liked to have seen, but that's okay. The only thing that I was upset with is that the maze, we couldn't like get WASD to move in the maze. However, it did open and we can see there's semblance of 3D. So the walls are like vertical and things like that. But the Vice City game was actually, well, I should say, the GTA clone game was actually very well done. It did put mesh colliders. Again, the thing that strikes me here is if we press the horn, they run away. But the population or NPC density here really rivals that of like genuine GTA games. So and this was cool. It did like a pseudo 3D because it was top down and you can adjust the view, but interesting. We have a little mini map as well. So I like this. Next up, we're jumping straight into hard mode. I'm going to do the C++ skateboard simulation test. This is the California Boardwalk aesthetic one. Now, this is going to be done through MiniMax. I mean, it's connected to MiniMax in the back end, but we're using open code here. I have initiated this from within plan mode. Only thing I've done is put it in its own dedicated skate directory, which is currently empty. Okay, so it's seeming like it wants to use raylib. Good, so it is already asking us for permission. I don't want to use raylib. Let's do most classic stack, maximum control, most code, heavier for a single file game, no external dependency, more boilerplate, but fully explicit OpenGL. Let's just do number 2, so like still fairly difficult. Full plan is listed, recommended. All right, I like that. Should we do audio? No, because we're not using raylib, and the one that allows audio specifically mentions that. And for now, I don't want like just arcade beeps. That would be boring. Should I create a README? Nah. Okay, good. So we'll do confirm, and then I'll have to swap it into build mode. once it's done with whatever it's doing here, which is just checking about the new dependencies we've instructed it's going to need to use. All right, once we press enter, we should see our skate game. Okay, I'm going to notice a couple of things. First and foremost, aside from the missing between here and the torso, the player model is one of the more detailed ones I've seen. Okay, good. We do get, oh, what the heck? Like, you know, when it was writing the code, I saw it like talking about like, well, what if the player does a 540 flip? It's like, I guess, but I don't think, okay, good spin. It almost has like the arm is leaning against the body. That's interesting. Really, the big blatant only issue I'm noticing right here is the water coming up through the boardwalk, okay, so I have to remember that space and W will do a hard flip and laser flip. So if you press both, this is like some X Games skating boardwalk sim. All right, we do have a sun somewhere. There is a sky gradient. This isn't an infinite boardwalk. Shift on rail is for a crooked grind. Okay, P is to pause. Can we pause while we're doing like a sick flip? Oh, maybe, but I would need to start the flip first. Okay, hold on. Shift on rail is for a crooked grind. All right, hold on. I got to stop pressing P. And the score text is inverted on the screen. That happens more often than one would expect. Okay, we're on the sand. We do have like trees and things like that. This has some features that I've not seen before, like the adjustable camera. Hey, put mesh colliders on the pedestrians with the skater. I don't know that have I seen that? I can't recall. All right, let's try the 540 flip is R. Oh, that's 540 spin. I apologize. Kick flip for, okay. And the movement is, all right, let's do a sick combo and then try to pause. This specific scene looks like one of those movie things where the movie starts out with a freeze frame and the narrator's like, you may be wondering to yourself how I got here. Well, let me tell you, it looks like this, because then okay. As expected. Overall, I'm happy with this because it was more difficult to get it done. Yeah, there are things that could be better and more together, just like the water not coming through the boardwalk, maybe some more aesthetically pleasing, like just elements to it, and then basically the thighs that are missing from the skater. But it did add some features I've also not really seen before, like the adjustable camera as well as the pause feature, and the NPCs are pretty interesting. All right, overall, I would say that I'm satisfied with this crazy X Games style skate game. Well, overall, that's probably going to conclude our first look and test of MiniMax M3. I ran some different things here, mainly the 1 gigahertz turbo clock awesome laptop model replication. I very much like that it actually did put a little operating system in quotes there on the screen. That made me very warm and fuzzy inside. Our Vice City game had a lot of pedestrians, and the horn feature was quite something. Something I've just not really seen before. It was interesting. I just find the pedestrian, like, it's kind of funny when they get scared. Then we also had this quarterback game, which did actually have sound. I didn't necessarily have the speaker hooked up when we first played this, but it's just some ambient noise and things like that, so we didn't really miss too much. And then very good. So just some basic sound effects that it added in. The 3D printer sim, the model was very good. Some of the printing was a bit odd, but the model itself looked very good. Our machine learning portfolio, of course, the actual SVG assets that it drew here for each individual element were impressive, especially where it had some like hovering in and out. The little robot thing, again, maybe I don't know, maybe don't do that if you're trying to get hired, but it was cute, I guess. Additionally, there was something else that I wanted to, the Subway game was awesome. I will get carried away if I don't just make this real quick. So the Subway game was absolutely fantastic. And the thing that preceded this, which was just the static Subway scene that was equally very, very cool. I found this result to be overall extremely impressive. We also had our skate game where it was completely disallowed from using Raylib. It had some of the most wild, like X Games looking animations to it. Some of the things here were odd, but I'm going to say it had some features I've not really seen before. Mainly, okay, stores you can go in, not that, but the adjustable camera views I have not seen, as well as, wait till we hit this ramp. Oh, I suck at pausing this right when it's like doing something cool, but the pause feature is not something I've actually had before. And the model of the humanoid was very like movable comparatively to some of the other things I've seen. So that was cool. And we didn't let it use Raylib. So just to keep that in mind, because that makes things a bit more difficult. So overall, that is going to conclude the MiniMax M3 test, something that a lot of folks were very interested in seeing. I was very happy to see all the comments that were requesting I test this. So hopefully folks have enjoyed this. I would say in terms of closing thoughts, the model is obviously very good. I may have to clickbait the title somewhat. I don't know if it'd be clickbait and be like, is this the best open source model? Now, of course, it's not currently yet open source, but they have said they're going to. And they did also do that for MiniMax M2.7, where they released it and then they said, hey, we're going to open source it in X amount of time from now. And they did end up doing so. So I have full faith that M3 will be open sourced as well. I'll be very interested to see what the size of this model is as well. So overall feedback, I would say it thinks a lot. It's very good, but it does think a lot, and sometimes it would take longer than I would have hoped for it to just spit out a result, especially for some of these simpler tasks like static front pages and things of the sort. Additionally, it does seem to have a very good grasp of 3D, like the Subway game kind of just, that buttered me up, I guess could be said. So that's going to conclude our first look and test of MiniMax M3. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching.